I'm shaking the dust of this crummy little town off my feet, and I'm going to see the world. Italy, Greece, the Parthenon, the Colosseum. Then I'm coming back here and go to college and see what they know. And then I'm going to build things. I'm going to build airfields. I'm going to build skyscrapers 100 stories high. I'm going to build bridges a mile long. Well, you going to throw a rock? Hey, that's pretty good. What'd you wish, Mary?
Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight?
Dance by the light of the moon. What'd you wish when you threw that rock?
Oh, no.
Come on, tell me.
If I told you, it might not come true.
What is it you want, Barry? What do you want? You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down. Hey, that's a pretty good idea. I'll give you the moon, Mary.
I'll take it. Then what?
Hi. I'm here to talk to you. I have a cup of tea and my journal in front of me, and I want to talk about the year. It is December 30th, 11:27 p.m. and I just felt called to sit and record something. This is mostly just for my own documentation purposes. I feel like I owe it to myself to do this because this has been one of the most, if not the most, transformative year of my life because of how hard it was. 2022 is nothing that I thought it would be at the beginning of the year, with every hope that I had for it. It is nothing that I thought. I'm in my childhood home right now for the holidays, and I read a journal that I had finished when I was still here at home this time last year, and reading all of the resolutions and hopes that I had for myself was sad because the year just did not go how I thought, and that's okay. We cannot predict life. The ins and outs of existence are ever-changing, and there's nothing that we can do to control them. I have changed so much in the past year, and I'm trying to identify what that change has looked like. I think that a lot of it has to do with spiritual formation and maturity and emotional intelligence. Absolutely. And that is so refreshing, and I'm grateful for all of the hardships that I endured this year because of that transformation. Being in solitude this break has been so helpful for me, especially in reflecting on the year and what I've learned about myself and the world and God and the relationships in my life and how I respond to them. Reading old journal entries from this time last year was so uncomfortable, but I think that doing that is so important. I was reminded that this time last year was the most anxious I have ever been in my life, and I have always struggled with anxiety and depression my whole life. The amazing thing about this year is that I was presented with so many difficulties that required me to go into myself and pray and ask, what is this that is causing me to react this way? What is this that's living inside of my body and manifesting in ways that are harming myself and the people around me potentially. And I was able to put names to a lot of those things, which has been so helpful, and I feel as though this year has been just the beginning of that process. I feel like I've just entered a door that I didn't even know existed. I'm so excited for this year because I have tangible ways that I'm going to invest in understanding those pieces of my mind and my heart and healing them. And I know that if the things that happened this year didn't happen, that wouldn't be possible. Or at least it would have taken me probably a lot longer to reach that place. It's a very odd feeling to be grateful for pain. I think that this year has brought me a sense of security that I didn't know that I had. I like to think that I've gained a lot of maturity, and I feel like I was talking about before, just this sense of calm that a month ago I didn't even feel, a few weeks ago I didn't even feel, and maybe it's a product of being home and resting, but also it's always been there. I've just had to reach this version of myself to access it. So the main thing that I've come to terms with about this year is that I lived my life in fear for the majority of 2022. And reaching that place of acceptance was very difficult for me. But it was also groundbreaking. I hadn't considered how much fear was invading my life. I think I've learned that it's possible to let fear walk behind you rather than letting it step in stride with you or before you. I was letting it step in stride with me, and for the majority of the year I was letting it go before me. And I knew that it wasn't supposed to be that way. And I tried so hard to fix it, but I just didn't know how to. And then I just became paralyzed because everything around me told me to be hopeless, and it instilled fear inside of me as well as beside me and before me. This increased my anxiety. It brought me into spirals of depression, and I felt so stuck. And this is just honest. And I think that gives me more of a reason to want to document this and share it, because I don't know if it could help somebody. I think that there's been a pretty large general consensus that this year was really hard for many people, and many people experienced a lot of huge life changes. And that was certainly the case for me. There were a few areas in my life where fear very prominently was invasive. And I was so anxious over these things. Most of them were future-based fears. And a lot of those things happened that I was afraid of. And some big, some small. Yes, the things that I had so much fear about did happen. But I'm okay. And you will be too. And God is still so good. I don't have to have joyful experiences to know the joy of God in my life. Despite going through intense pain because of fear, I can know joy and peace and love and contentment and solitude and sadness and heartbreak. And I'm so grateful for the breaking that I've experienced this year because it has proved to be bountiful. I really do believe that love is worth the breaking. Every bit of it. Though I'm still recovering from the hurt that I've experienced this year, I'm glad too. And that doesn't mean it's not hard. I've always known that I can do hard things. But this year, I actually had to do them. And now I know for certain that I can do hard things. And I will continue to do the hard things. Because it is so worth it. The feeling of security that I am experiencing in this time is, I think, from the realization that I can do hard things because I just had to. And the hard things were the things that I feared. And they happened, but God is still good, and love is still real, and hope is still true, and peace is still peace. And to be able to say that I am grateful for everything that has happened this year is wild to me. One thing that I've learned about love this year is that there is nothing that you can do to change it. It's always constant, and real love is always present. And I never understood that, and I actually don't think that I ever really will fully understand that, but I know that it's true, and I've experienced that in multiple forms this year. I think that it's so incredible to break because it is, it puts all of the good, the bad, and the beautiful into perspective. And I just feel like everything that I've experienced this year is floating around me and spinning, and I'm in the middle of it, and I just see myself with my eyes closed, standing there, recognizing all of these things, the good, the bad, and the beautiful, but not being of them. Which is not easy to do. I feel like I've just finally gotten to the point where I can kind of grasp that. But I'm still learning, and I think that I will be learning how to do that for the rest of my life on Earth. But that is something that I am so excited and willing to do. Aside from all of the heartbreak and pain that I experienced in so many different ways this year, I also have had happy moments. As I reflect and look back, I can see where those moments are. I turned 20 this year, which is so exciting, and I feel like I haven't really given that the proper recognition that I think it deserves, because I think it just happened so fast, and This year has just been so blurry for me in a lot of ways. I have so many hopes and dreams for the next 10 years of my life, and I will keep them to myself. But there's so much life to live and so much world to see and so much to make, and I'm 20 now. Like, I'm in my 20s officially. I feel like I just started to dip my toe into my career this year. I felt so stuck for so long, and that's what my first video was about, but I'm so grateful for how I finally ripped the Band-Aid off and started this year. I adopted a dog this year who will, Lord willing, walk through my 20s with me, and I just have like a little best friend. Also traveled a good bit this year, more than I had the past 2 years because of COVID, and I feel like I really deepened a lot of relationships in my life, and so I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the life that I've lived this year, and I know that there is glory on the other side of suffering. There is a voice in the wilderness. There is light in darkness. And here I am. Here you are. I want to end this video with some words from none other than John Green, who I recently discovered has a book that is a collection of essays, and it is called The Anthropocene Reviewed. And he has one essay in the book that is a review of the song Auld Lang Syne, which is the classic song that is always played on New Year's Eve to celebrate the year past and ring in the newness of the year to come. I'm going to read his words in relation to the song. He says, "It's also a statement that we are, that we exist, and it's a statement that we are here, that a series of astonishing unlikelihoods has made us possible and here possible. We might never know why we are here, but we can still proclaim in hope that we are here. I don't think such hope is foolish or idealistic or misguided. I believe that hope is, for lack of a better word, true. We live in hope that life will get better, and more importantly, that it will go on, that love will survive even though we will not. As Emily Dickinson put it, hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. And we are here because we're here, because we're here, because we're here." In conclusion, thank you for being here. Thank you for trying. Thank you for experiencing and living in all of the breaking and all of the joy and all of the everything that you experienced in this year of life. And thank you for giving yourself grace. And if you didn't, give yourself grace for that, because there's always, always grace. And thank you for being here now on the other side of the screen. And if you made it this far, I would love to know. And I would love to know what you are reflecting on from this year and grateful for. Maybe we should just let ourselves experience the joy and renewal of the new year and celebrating it, because I think it's worth it. I will see you in the new year. Thank you for watching. My dear, everything moves so fast. It all moves so fast these days. But come in real close, we'll dance real slow. Maybe time will change its pace. Maybe we can sing time to sleep just for tonight. We can tiptoe and slip outside before he wakes the morning light. My dear, it's still a wonderful life, a wonderful life. My dear, it's still a wonderful life, a wonderful life.
You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down. Hey, that's a pretty good idea. I'll give you the moon, all right?